Welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit, and I'm also here to hang out with you. First things first, let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, go ahead and lurk. Aristophan is here. At tier 2, 76 trombones led the big parade with 110 cornets, close at hand. Indeed. Let's also throw the Bear Cave Lego inside the moat and thank Aristophan for their continued support. Appreciate you, Aristophan. Thank you very much for being a subscriber for so many months and being our only tier 2 subscriber. I didn't put my Santa hat on, and I'm going to do that right now, folks. So let me do that right at this very second. I'm going to put this on here. Then I got to put the headphones on, and then I got to flip the hat back over the headphones. Hey, Lord Crashton, welcome. And Lashberg is here. Hello to you, Lashberg. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't put this on before the stream started. I didn't put my bandana on because I'm going to wear the Christmas hat one more time. The Christmas hat and the Christmas lights exist for today's stream, and the Christmas pre-show music exists for today's stream. And then on Saturday, we will go back to our regularly scheduled pre-show music, and we won't have Christmas lights and a Santa hat. I felt like Boxing Day in several parts of the world, as you know, and the 26th just in general, we could be a little Christmassy. I know some people, December 26th, that's it. They're done. Other people, they wait all the way until January 1st before they get rid of all the Christmas decorations. But I feel like I can wait until the 28th in order to swap back to our traditional stuff. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Tonight's agenda, if I may be so bold to call it an agenda, the plan for this evening, the Mega Pokemon Kanto Region Pokedex set. We are going to finish that up. You can see it right here. We're going to finish that up, I believe, tonight. And then, time permitting, which I think we will have time for, we will get going on the Lego Dreams Zoe's Cat Motorcycle. From Lego Dreams, we will be building the cat motorcycle, which has 2 modes, and so we will build it one way, and then we'll disassemble it partially to build it the other way, because I think that should be doable. That worked out well with the last, and was also the first Dreams kit we did. Crazy says, my work changed back to our normal music and took down all the Christmas ads. Yeah, and like, I get it. I understand it, right? The 26th is not Christmas anymore. So you start thinking about New Year's, right? Or if you are a grocery store that Greg Miller was in today, you are trying to sell Valentine's Day candy, apparently, which is fucking wild. It's too early for Valentine's Day stuff. Come on. That's wild that I saw that. That he witnessed it and then shared it with people. Hey, also, before we get into... my voice cracked there. Before we get into building, one quick little thing that I want to throw in there is that it's bonus round. Bonus round is happening right now. Until January 2nd, speaking of January, until January 2nd, 25% off new 1-month subs. So if you are new to the stream, you can get 25% off a new subscription. You can get 25% off a 3-month subscription. You can get 30% off a 6-month subscription. That's all new. So you got to be doing it for the first time. And for every 5 gifted subs purchased on the channel, Valorant, who are sponsoring the bonus round, will add 1 more bonus gifted sub. So you get 6 gifted subs to the price of 5, which is pretty cool. I'm not saying you got to do it. I'm telling you that you can save money doing it. And that's cool. We're getting St. Patrick's Day stuff. That's too soon. St. Patrick's Day is a long time from now. Like, at the very least, celebrate Day of the Dead, which is coming up, or Three Kings Day, which is coming up. Do you give me a little bit? Or New Year's. Start putting up your 2025 stuff. I don't know. You could. Anyway, let's go to the overhead camera and take a look at what we got here. Ba-boom. Overhead camera. Here is indeed Valentine's Day stuff is available now. Yes, Lord Crashington. That's what I was talking about. You may have missed it, but I literally, the reason why Crazy Kook mentioned St. Patrick's Day is because I mentioned how Greg Miller took a photo of Valentine's Day candy for sale today. And he was very disturbed by that, and I agree. So yes, we did chat about that here on the stream, like a minute and a half ago. Anyway, hey, this is what we're working on tonight. The Mega Pokemon Kanto Region Pokedex. We took a break from it. I started this on Saturday, but we took a break on Monday so that I could build a Christmas-themed Lego set. I don't know that... Lord Crashington, that's also too early. Christmas stuff out before Halloween is too early. Yes, that's too early. Saying you should buy candy, you should buy chocolate for a February 15th event on December 26th is too early. Stores will be taking down their Christmas stuff to put up their Christmas stuff. Indeed. Yeah, I am saying that St. Patrick's Day and Valentine's Day stuff on December 26th is too early. Just don't have holiday stuff for a minute. It's okay. Also, these are the days where people want to go in and buy discount candy. So you could just sell that discount candy and you'd be fine to do it. This is the thing we're working on, and I'm going to stop looking at chat. I'm just not going to look at chat for like 30 seconds so I can say what I want to say and I don't have to react to chat's wildness. We are going to finish the Mega Pokemon Kanto Region Pokedex, which we started last Saturday and then took a break for Christmas stuff. It lights up. It's got a little light up, which is rad. We have lenticular Pokedex entries in here, and then a reminder that these are all what the Mega Pokemon look like, what the sets look like. Instead of looking like the anime or the manga or the video game, they chose to go with what that looks like, which is very fitting for the build. And the idea is you can snap it in place here, and then you can easily pop this off, which then lets you push this forward to pop it out. And so you can swap through if you want to. Because I was wondering why this was not secure, why this piece was a little floppy. And it's because they want you to be able to trade them out. We won't put one in until it tells us to. Oh, well, I do have 6 of them. So you've got the 3 starters, and then you've got the like, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee starters as well. Which... I don't know why you would start with an Eevee. It's going to be a long time before you find a stone in order to evolve it. But starting with a Pikachu, that just makes sense. Now, Lord Crashton, now that I got that out of the way, a thing that I wanted to say, Lord Crashton says, the fun thing is that they just repackage the candy for any season they want, so Halloween candy turns into Xmas candy. Well, yes and no. They don't... Once the Halloween candy is out on a store shelf, they don't pull it back, empty it, and put it in new packaging. But at a certain point, they stop making Halloween candy and start ramping up Christmas. The Halloween candy is already on shelves. It just stays on shelves or goes to secondhand stores that buy it off of the store. But they don't send it back to the factory to then repackage it. So I get what you're saying. It's all the same kind of stuff. It's just the packaging. Like they figured out that they can do a mold for an animal and then change that mold slightly and make it a different animal or creature, and then you don't have to make a new mold. And it's like, yeah, okay, sure. Just, do your candy that way if you want. I need 8 of these. It's Thursday. I hope you're all doing well on this Thursday evening. I have had to remind myself all day that not only was today a stream night, because I streamed last night, and my bonus streams are on Tuesday and not on Wednesday. So I was already like, oh yeah, okay, it's a Wednesday. No, it's not a Wednesday. But also, I spent a large portion of the day thinking that it might be, whoa, Aristofan just gifted some subs, and then Valorant gifted some subs back. So thank you very much. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. And thank Aristofan for gifting some subs. And then also Valorant gifted 2 bonus subs on top of that. So enjoy Lysandus and Kawaii Monster and Blasphemous and Tony the Swordsman and Wookins and Rogue Quest and Karenski Fury. Happy Boxing Day to you, Aristofan. Thank you very much for that. That's very kind. Yeah, let's do the Bear Cave Lego Scythe Tier 2 Blue Emote in chat and thank Aristofan for all those gifted subs. That rules. And also, we got some bonus gifted subs, which is very fucking cool. We love to see it. We do actually love to see it. Yes, Lord Crashington. I do know what you mean. They do just do the same candy with different packaging. Yes. I do understand that. But yeah, I had a good time last night. Okay, so the other thing is, I'm also fairly constantly thinking today that it was Sunday. Because I was like, oh, I streamed last night, but I don't have to stream it today because it's a Sunday. And I was like, no, it's not a Sunday. It's a Thursday, Pat. It's a Thursday. The holiday taint is just a nebulous time. It is a rough, weird time. And if anyone is feeling like they're not sure what day it is, you are not alone. I want you to understand that you are not alone and that it happens to the best of us. And if you were unfamiliar with what I just said and you were like, no, wait, what? No, what? No. What was that, Pat? The holiday taint is a saying. I did not come up with this expression. Other people have come up with this expression. But you say it's the holiday taint because it taint New Year's and it taint Christmas. It is the week in between. Also known as the dead zone. Also known as the might as well be a holiday for a lot of people. The no uploads, no news, no podcasts, no nothing. Yeah. It just taint. It taint anything. Now, a thing that I always remembered that I loved was the fact that, okay, no, wait, how does this go in? Let me look at this. Okay, so it goes like this and lines up there, and then there's an empty spot there. Okay. And then I got to do a bunch of these. One thing that I always liked about this holiday is that, or this time, is that it was busy for me. So when I still worked at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater, when I was the technical director, you would think, oh, well, you probably just shut down for that week, right? Because there's nobody around. No, actually. We would shut down for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and we would shut down for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. New Year's Eve, we could have done shows, but talent didn't really want to do it. New Year's Day was kind of just a wash anyway. And Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, it just makes sense not to do shows. But the shows that we did between Christmas Day, or like 26 Boxing Day, and that New Year's Eve were packed with people. Now, were some of that audience people who had no idea what they were coming to see and who maybe didn't love what they eventually saw? Oh, for sure. There were a bunch of people that were like, I don't know what this is, and I don't know why I'm here to watch it. But they just wanted to see shows. And of course, where I worked, it was still reasonable. The prices were reasonable. So you would just have people who would come in. Or, yeah, Tony, enjoy your gift sub. You would also have people who lived in New York and like family would come visit them and you ran out of stuff to do. You didn't really do stuff in your own apartment. So you were like, oh God, they've been here for like 3 days. Let's go to a comedy show. You know what I mean? Or you would have like aunts and uncles who like, this was a reoccurring thing in college, right? You go to college in New York and you don't go and fly home for Christmas. Instead, you go to like your aunt or uncle or something, and you just hang out there, and then you end up at a comedy show. Ooh, let's see what I got here. My hype share. Okay, I got a choo-choo because we had a hype train there because of those generous gifted subs. Choo-choo train. Yeah, so you had You had people who would just be like, I don't know, I'll just bring a relative to UCB. We'll just do that. Same thing around Thanksgiving. So what you end up having was around Christmas was people who were performers who had been on like successful teams and been around for theater, they would want to go home to see family or whatever. So people who like stuck around that week would get like asked to produce shows, and a lot of them would be holiday themed. I ran a show. It was God, what was that? Ringo Starr Learns the True Meaning of Christmas was the show that I pitched. And I had a friend of mine who had a pretty good Ringo Starr impression. And we just did a bunch of sketches of him. The premise was that it was basically like it was not a full Christmas Carol parody. It was not like a complete and utter Christmas Carol thing. We didn't go full on that. But that's what we were approaching. That was the thing that we were trying to kind of ape, was the idea that like Ringo had lost the true meaning of Christmas. And so we had a bunch of sketches that did that. Some of them were funny, some of them were not funny. The one that was the most funny to me was a sketch that I wrote where it was a guy very excited to meet Ringo Starr, but he only knew about Ringo's solo albums and he didn't know anything about the Beatles. Like, he had never heard of the Beatles. He just liked Ringo. And that was a very silly premise that I enjoyed coming up with. And that sketch I thought was very funny. But yeah, there'd be a variety of shows. And so, like I said, I produced a show, but also I would end up working because I was the guy in charge. Now, you think, well, the guy in charge would probably delegate responsibility so that he would make sure that people got to, that like there'd be people there. Okay, so it's the small one, not the big one. So it's not these. These are the large ones. There is a smaller version of this, or there's a 3. Oh, there's a bigger version of this. Not the 4, is that what it is? Okay. There's a big one of these, and we don't want to use the big one. We want to use one of the small ones. Great. Got it. I love that. I love that they're like, hey, these are similar. Don't fuck that up. It's very nice of them. And this is going to go like this. Got it. And then that goes... Oh, no, I put that on wrong. No, I didn't put that. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, so this goes like this. Okay. So that goes like that. And then that goes on there. And it's turned over. And then it's 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. Like that. That felt complicated in a way that I was confused about. But it ended up working out. Yeah, so the thing is, I was in charge of a lot of people, but like a lot of those people were doing me a favor by working for not a lot of money and doing weird hours at a job that was like cool, but like not incredibly cool. So a lot of people were just like, hey, I'm not available to work my shifts around that time. So I would end up just being, I would end up working a lot around those Christmas holidays. I'd get somebody cover for me right before Christmas, and then a lot of times I would fly back, or when my folks lived in Connecticut, I would take the train back on the 26th. A lot of times, and like work that night. I would get up really early and work that night. So my Christmases were often pretty short because someone had to work those shifts. And sometimes it worked out that Christmas Eve and Christmas Day were days that I didn't work. So I could count in my days off and then like other days. But sometimes it would just work out that like, oh no, I have like 3 days off if I'm pulling a favor in. And then one year, a friend of mine, one of my employees, who was also a friend of mine at the time, he broke up with his girlfriend and he was like, hey, I would like shifts. I would like to work a lot and not think about the sadness that I am currently experiencing. And I was like, yeah, I get that, friend. Do you want to work some of my shifts around Christmas? And he said yes. And then I managed to change my flight and get more time here in South Carolina. And that was awful for him. But it worked out pretty good for me. I was able to take more time off. One year, there was a gentleman that worked for us who is Muslim. And so he was like, hey, I'm in New York and my family's all in LA and we don't celebrate the holiday, so I can work for you, Pat, no problem. And I was like, great. And then like he said, hey, my dad just bought me plane tickets to go visit him in LA because he wants me to meet his new girlfriend. So I can't hang out. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I can't work. Luckily that year, I was just going to Connecticut, so I just changed my times around, and then my return ticket wasn't like it was a commuter train. I could take the commuter train from New York to Connecticut and back, so it didn't matter what day I took it. Which worked out okay. It fucking sucked that my Christmas was really short, or that year, because I had to go back into work because my employee at the time was just like, yeah, he got me a plane tickets that I can't like say no to that. So I'm going out to LA. He assumed that I would be off and lonely, and I was like, oh shit. And obviously these days, I'm just here, so I get to see my folks, and I get to help decorate, and I get to do all that stuff and deal with all of that and help out in the kitchen for Christmas, which is fun. Artistic biologist just raided with a party of 2. Welcome to both of you. Hello. Welcome, Raiders. We are working on the Mega Pokemon Kanto Region Pokedex. This is a Mega, like Mega Constructs. It lights up. You can see right there, like it blinks a little bit, and we can put some lenticular photos in here of the Pokemon, which we will get to when it is called for. Right now, we are working on the lid here. This has already been a very fun build, and I'm looking forward to continue working on it. But I was just talking about Christmas stuff and the various holidays where I suddenly had to work and all that, which is kind of a thing in the past. But the reason I brought it up was because I had to work those days. These days like we have right here, which feel like no one does anything. It's the days where you get caught up on podcasts. That's what I like to call these days, because like there's a podcast I listen to that the episodes come out 3 times a week. And this week, 1 episode comes out. So I will have a couple hours to fill in. So I will go and dig into other podcasts that, like, I never did listen to Nextlander's, the last Nextlander's, podcast, the Q&A podcast. So I can go dig that up and listen to that or whatever. There's a bunch of stuff that I can go and find if I need to. But that's kind of what I end up doing on these days is... this time get caught up on podcasts that I missed out on. All right, got 10 here. So we'll put that on there. Working on our Pokedex. Hey, there's a wrestling pay-per-view on Saturday. The last wrestling pay-per-view of 2024 from a major wrestling promotion in the United States is happening. And it's called World's End. This is the 2nd annual World's End. It is in Orlando, Florida, which feels kind of fitting. And I will not be watching it live. I will be instead streaming here this Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. I will watch the pre-show, which no matches for the pre-show have been announced. As of right now, there are 8 matches on the card. Dynamite, Dynamite was pre-taped last week. There's no Collision this week. The final Rampage was already taped. Now on Rampage, they could make announcements. The last pay-per-view, we had Tony Khan, just like the days before, tweeting some matches that were on the card. So there could be matches added to the lineup, and also there, in my opinion, most likely will be pre-show matches, and probably even one more main event match. Maybe not, but I could see them adding another main event match. But we'll go through the card again. No idea about the pre-show matches right now. Chris Jericho not on the bill, and that feels like weird because Chris Jericho wasn't on the last card because he did the Ring of Honor pay-per-view. He is on the final Rampage, which is this Friday. So it's possible he will miss 2 pay-per-views in a row, back-to-back pay-per-views, which feels wild. But that might happen. So we have the Continental Classic semifinals. Both these semifinals, the winner of each of these matches will face each other to end the Continental Classic. So these 4 men, 2 of these 4 men, will face each other and will wrestle twice in one night. We got Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. I don't know how this goes. In my opinion, Will Ospreay gets his win back from Kyle Fletcher. Makes a lot of sense. And then the other side of it is Kazuchika Okada versus Ricochet. And Okada is currently the Continental Champion. And he doesn't lose. If he loses there, then he guaranteed there will be a new champion. All 4 of these men, like all of the possible matchups here for the finals, are all really intriguing and really interesting. You've got Kyle Fletcher winning a title in AEW. Sounds good. Let's see. Ooh, I need longer than these. I need these. Ricochet winning a championship at AEW as a heel, as this weird shitty heel. Sounds pretty good. That sounds like something you could do. Okada retaining. Yeah, he is the king of these kinds of tournaments, like worldwide. He hasn't really done much with the belt. If you want to keep him out of the main event scene, keeping with a mid-card title makes a lot of sense, even if it's not like the most interesting option. And then, does Will Ospreay need another mid-card championship? Again, if you're trying to keep him out of the main event scene, if you don't want his next opponent to be the world champion, then yeah, I guess a mid-card feud. So the reason why I think Kyle Fletcher winning would be great. Big fan of that. But then is it Kyle Fletcher versus Okada or Kyle Fletcher versus Ricochet? That isn't necessarily what the story has been going for. Now, Okada kind of been working tweener, kind of working face where appropriate. Ricochet acting like an asshole. Ricochet is already setting himself up for a feud with Swerve Strickland. So that could be for the Continental title. That totally fits, in my opinion. Like, that's something that could certainly work. Will Ospreay winning the belt and then still dealing with Don Callis family, like he gets his win back over Kyle and then goes on to win it. Like, okay, that sets Kyle up being like, oh, you beat me, so now I need to beat you for that belt. That's interesting. His stuff with Ricochet, that would probably be him versus Ricochet in the finals, which would be a great finals match. And again, Okada winning doesn't do a lot for me, even though it is motherfucking Okada and he rules. But I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about it. To me, Kyle is the most interesting, but I don't see who Kyle Okada is great. Kyle Ricochet doesn't really work for me. So I guess I'm saying Ricochet should win. Heel Trevor Ricochet should win the Continental Classic, become the Continental Champion, and then feud with Swerve Strickland. That's my proposal. It's unfortunate that this Okada is not the true Okada. I beg to differ, Crazy Kook. This is the true Okada. You like you love, and it's okay that you do. You love the false Okada, and that's fine. It's okay to love the Okada that Okada doesn't love, and to not love this Okada, which is the true Okada, a mid-card comedy guy with a great body, who loves goofs and character work and being silly and having great matches, but not having the pressures of being the head of the face of the company or the ace. This is the true, real chaos with a capital C, Okada. We are seeing Okada in his favorite version of Okada. It's just that we also saw put all the money into this man. This man is the future of the business. This man is the leader of our company, Okada. And that Okada fucking rules. But that's not the true Okada. That's Okada living up to the hype and living up to the pressure that was thrust upon him to be a main event player and to be the greatest wrestler. He was offered that opportunity, but Kazuchika Okada is a mid-carder who loves wrestling, but also loves wearing other people's gear backstage and calling people bitch, and saying things and pretending to not know English. That's Okada. All Okada wants to do is have a comedy match with Orange Cassidy. Like, that's all that man actually wants. But he's really fucking good at wrestling, and the world of wrestling won't let him do it for that long. The fact that he gets to be a mid-card funny man at all in this company is a testament to how much wrestlers can book themselves in AEW. Because it's the only Western company in the United States, wrestling company in the United States, I should say, that would let him do this. Because any other company would be like, well, no, we got to give you our belt. You got to have the big belt, and you have to have 5-star, 6-star classics, and you got to like fight all of these legends that come through and like all of that. And this company's just like, so you're with a heel group of people you really like, and you don't have to care about anything, and you don't have to work every week. But when you want to have great matches, you can have great matches. Oh, and also, you can just call people bitch all the time. Congratulations. You're living your dream. So we do have this Okada, and I'm grateful for Okada that he gets to be this guy in this company and have a good time. That's awesome for him. We will get New Japan Okada, top of the card Okada at some point. They can't keep him from being champion forever, even if he wants it. He at some point will have to do it. Did I do? Okay, I put this in the wrong spot. But right now, he gets to be... Oh, these are the wrong size. I grabbed the wrong size. That's what's wrong. Let's use our brick separator and separate these bricks. Jon Moxley, who is the champion, is defending his title against Orange Cassidy, Hangman Adam Page, and Jay White in a 4-way fight. Wait, are these supposed to be... Yeah, okay, these are 5s. Where did I mess up? Are these 4s? Let's see. These are 4s. Okay, I didn't mess this up. I put it in the wrong spot. I put it in slightly the wrong spot, and then I goofed up about where they go. This goes like this. Wait, no. I did mess this up somewhere. I messed up somewhere. Oh, is there a... Sorry, everybody. I did mess this up. So, like, I was like, why does this seem wrong? And it's because it is. Let's pull these up. We're using the Mega Constructs thing. As far as the main event goes, okay. All right. That's what happened. these are in the wrong. I put these in the. I put this in the wrong spot, which meant I put these in the wrong spot. So I got to get these up. Jon Moxley retains. Yes, it doesn't make logical sense that Jon Moxley retain this title in a 4-way fight where Orange Cassidy just has to pin Adam Page and he wins, or Jay White just has to turn on either Orange Cassidy or Hangman Adam Page, which he, that's his fucking vibe, and do that. Moxley does not have a hit, but there are two things that make it very clear that Jon Moxley is going to win this. One, Jon Moxley has a stable of people who will cheat, so it is an even playing field for him. And two out of the 3 men cannot be trusted. They cannot be trusted at all. They will turn on each other at the drop of a hat. They will not work well together. And then the third one is whoever beats Jon Moxley, quote unquote, saves AEW. And so that's going to, in my opinion anyway, be a tremendous win for someone. And I don't think that's a win at this show. That doesn't feel like that's how this is going to go. If that makes sense. It just doesn't feel like how they're going to do this thing. So it feels like the actual answer is Moxley retains, and then Moxley, maybe Moxley fucking holds the belt all the way to All In, which feels like a lifetime from now. And I wouldn't necessarily say is definitive, but it would make some sense. Okay, I fixed the mistake I made here. Now we can move on. I'm not saying for sure. Look, I don't know if it's Darby. I would say if I was going to put the world title on Darby Allin, I wouldn't have him lose all the fucking time in a tournament. But that's just me, because who cares if he starts winning, right? But I feel like Darby Allin loses a lot for a guy that's going to be the next guy and save the company. That's why I think there's probably one more one-on-one match for Moxley, maybe on TV, maybe not, before it's Darby. But also, Kenny comes back. Now, Kenny would have a natural feud with the Bucks. But what if Kenny comes back and he's just like, hey, I'm also an EVP, and I do not like what's happening here, and I do not like your fucking bullshit. So, this is happening. I don't know. Do I think that Kenny Omega should win the world title off of Jon Moxley? There have been worse ideas. Mainly I just don't want it to be Darby, because I don't think Darby would be a good champion, and I think it would be bad. Somebody was saying that it'll be an All In and it'll be a Texan. And I was like, but I don't know who that is. Who's a Texan that would win the world title? It's if it's Sammy, they have to do a lot of work. I don't think it's Sammy Guevara. They'd have to do so much work for it to be Sammy. But yeah, I don't know. I wish Eddie was better. His history with Mox and could be the heart of AEW role they're trying to force OC into. Yeah, Eddie Kingston makes a ton of sense for that role. I think he is still a long ways off from being ring ready, which is a shame, but feels that way. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. But yes, I think an Eddie Jon Moxley program would work really well. But I don't know if that's something they, like I said, I don't know if timing is going to work out for that with him being actually ready to come back, and then to come back for a world championship opportunity. But I would love it, because I would love to see Eddie, and I like it when wrestlers who are really good friends wrestle each other, because it's usually fucking insane. The rest of the card is MJF, who is the Dynamite Ring. He has won the Dynamite Ring, the first one, and he has retained it. Versus the challenger, Adam Cole. I do not fucking care. I want Adam Cole to be a heel. I want the Taven and Bennett to be a heel with him. I want this feud to be done. They should have pulled the plug on this feud months ago. This should not have been Adam Cole's return. This should not be a thing that MJF does. Doing it where one of the participants was constantly in video form because he was shooting a movie. That is terrible for it, but also terrible for it is just the very fact that it ain't working. It ain't working for me. I do not care. Adam Cole makes a better heel than he does a face. And this storyline, like, this is just, nah, I'm good. I'm just good on it. I do not care who wins. When they had, the idea was, so legitimately, MJF lost the ring. He literally lost the ring. And so they did a storyline thing that Daniel Garcia pawned it. He stole it and pawned it. So then later they said MJF found the ring and he from the pawnbrokers. And I was like, it should have just been lost and we could have just let it go because here's the thing about the ring. It is a reference to the Lord of the Ring, a 1996-97 one-night tournament in WCW. There were tag matches. You qualified by being part of a tag team, and then the final men were all people that had tag teams with each other, and it was random. So sometimes you tagged with people you were feuding with, and sometimes you had to wrestle your own previous tag team partner and establish teams. And the winner of it in the Battle Royale at the end won a physical, real ring that made him the King of the Ring. I'm sorry, the Lord of the Ring, because he couldn't be King of the Ring. He was the Lord of the Ring. And the first and only Lord of the Ring was Diamond Dallas Page. And that's why AEW has the Dynamite Diamond Ring. That's the only reason they have this thing, and they've kept it, is because it happened one time in WCW. They can fucking let it die. Mariah May is defending against Thunder Rosa in a Tijuana street fight for the AEW Women's World Championship. A Tijuana-style street fight. They're not in Tijuana. It'll be a street fight. It'll be great. Mariah May will retain her title because the alternative makes no sense. Unless Toni Storm costs her. But in my mind, that's post-match where Toni Storm reveals that she is currently faking her mental... Sorry. It's not mental illness. Currently, Toni Storm is playing a gimmick where she is indie wrestler, just fresh at All Elite AEW, Toni Storm. Toni Storm believes that she has just joined the company. And so some people were like, and it's funny because people were acting like, no, you know me. What happened to Timeless? What happened to that gimmick? Timeless Toni Storm is also an hallucination by Toni Storm. She hallucinated that she was like a Hollywood actress because she lost the world title and went and like was abandoned by her friends and went into like a weird state. So we have that. And then now she was betrayed, and then she showed up now with a different gimmick, but this gimmick is like a memory loss gimmick. And it's like, is this Toni Storm acting? Is it Timeless Toni Storm putting on a performance as Amnesia Toni Storm? Or is this the real Toni Storm pretending to not remember things, but she's also realized that she was acting like a fake version of herself to be timeless? Or is this timeless Toni Storm having a freak out? And then someday she'll just be back to the Outcast version of Toni Storm. The funniest thing to me is this version of Toni Storm, like in kayfabe, this version of Toni Storm wasn't in WWE because Toni Storm in NXT and the main roster was in the WWE, had a very bad time there, did not enjoy her time at all. So it is very funny to me that this version of Toni Storm is like, this is my first time on American television, Toni Storm. And it just like is very funny to me that she's like, yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about. She doesn't remember anybody or her time there. It's a good gimmick. I think she's Mariah May's next challenger. Rounding out the card is Konosuke Takeshita defending the International Championship against Powerhouse Hobbs. I forgot that Konosuke Takeshita was a champion. There are so many belts in AEW that I completely forgot that one of the champions is one championship belt holder is Takeshita. He does defend it internationally, but I just forgot about it. That's going to be a good beefy match. I imagine. I assume Takeshita retains. I don't know why he wouldn't. And then also we have we're doing it again. Mercedes Moné taking on Chris Statlander for the TBS Championship. Now, Statlander came very close. She gave arguably Mercedes Moné's best match so far in AEW. You could see the second time Chris pulling it off. She's started to try to make amends with Willow Nightingale. Perhaps that's making us think that she's fully a babyface and then she's going to turn heel. Maybe that was all an act. Maybe that is her attempt to get Willow to watch her back because Mercedes is going to try to cheat to retain. Perhaps that's what it is. Okay, so I got to figure out how to do this. So this is going to go like this. That looks like that. And then this looks like this. And that's how they want me to connect it. I'm just going to make sure this looks right. So this has to go in like that. And then it goes in like that. Okay. But yeah, that's my assumption. Mercedes is going to retain because Mercedes is facing Mina Shirakawa and is going to win the Rev Pro title. And I just feel like Mercedes is going to become a belt collector, and that makes sense. Mercedes already has 2 titles. She's about to win a 3rd title in a few days. That to me makes the most sense more than anything else. And we're kind of teasing this Willow Chris storyline. Willow Nightingale is my pick for winning that match at Dynasty, Dynasty, where the winner gets a title match for CMLL, New Japan, Ring of Honor, or AEW, and it really feels like now that Athena still has a Ring of Honor title, my guess is that it's Willow. Willow's going to win it, and Willow's going to pull off the victory over somebody. I don't know who exactly, but I feel like Willow's going to win that. And yeah, that's the card again. Notables not on this card: the tag champions. No tag champions now. Leo Rush and Action Andretti are competing on Rampage, so we could have something where they have a face-to-face with our boys in Private Party, and that leads to a match getting added. And that would make 9 matches on the card. Also absent from the card, another champion. The TNT champion is not on the card. Danny Garcia, nowhere to be found. He was in the tournament. He didn't win the tournament. A thing they did previously is I could see a pre-show match with the other people who are in the Continental Classic that aren't on the semifinals in a match. So that way you get a bunch of those folks. The Trios champions, not wrestling on the card, not booked. That could maybe happen. But I feel like it makes sense that one of those pre-shows would be a way to get a lot of those guys on the card, and there's, that would work. All right. So, folks, do you have any suggestion on which of these you'd like to see on this? Would you like to see Pikachu, Eevee, Charmander, Bulbasaur, or Squirtle? Which of these would you like that? Lord Crashton says Squirtle. I'll take an impromptu poll there while I begin to work on the stand, our Pokedex stand. Got to build stand up. But if anybody else has an opinion for one of these Pokemons that you would like to see emboldened and emblazoned here for display purposes and for photographic purposes, you can let me know there. And while I start working on there. And we'll take a pause for the cause and then wrap this thing up proper. We do that there. 2 of these and 1 of these. This goes here. This goes like this. I think Bulbasaur was my G1 starter. Hell yeah. Yeah, there's no news for me to really talk about, so that's why I spent a lot of time talking about that wrestling show. And on Saturday, we'll talk about like the pre-show, because I'll have watched the pre-show, and maybe I'll tune in to watch like the first match. But I'll hopefully have other things to talk about on Saturday. I guess we could like talk about like New Year's resolutions or stuff like that. I don't know, but there'll be something to talk about on Saturday, because like news is just not around. Maybe I'll look up some like end of the year lists that people made and kind of talk about those. I don't know what I'm going to do with that, because there just isn't a lot to talk about in the world for me to react to, because a lot of stuff just doesn't fucking happen in video games. There just isn't a lot out there to chat about. But we'll find something. We'll figure it out. We'll figure some stuff out for Saturday, and then Monday again, working on stuff, hanging out, doing our thing. And a reminder, folks, that on Tuesday will be Pat Bear's Anime Club, my ongoing video series where I talk about anime. It'll be my live taping of my next episode, where I will talk about my fall wrap up, the fall anime season, which is basically all but done. There's a few shows with a couple episodes left, and then Ari Fuerta, it started late, so that goes a little long, but for the most part, it's wrapped up. And then we'll talk about that, and then we'll also talk about so that'll be anime. We'll do anime. We'll talk about the fall season that was, and the winter season to come. But that won't be a 3-hour stream. That'll be a 2-hour plus stream. But it'll be New Year's Eve, and we'll want to go all the way, of course, until it's midnight on the East Coast. Go start at 9 p.m. Go there. So what happens then, Pat? Well, what happens then is we fucking hang out. Something else will happen. I actually don't know what I'm going to do to fill that time. I have to decide. I have a couple ideas. I thought maybe there were a couple games that I could check out and play that might like work out for that. To kind of hang out, look at some stuff. There was thought of maybe doing Jackbox stuff, but I might want to save that for its own stream. And then also I was like, well, we could do Hearthstone, because I haven't looked at Hearthstone this season yet, so I could do that. Like, I don't know. I have a few ideas of things we could do for that time. We could run some CPU versus CPU matches in WO2K24. I'm not sure. But for the most part, that stream is going to be... Actually, you know what? I know what it's going to be. Sorry. I have decided. Because I don't think I want to do a full 2-hour stream again, for a while anyway, of Tier Maker. But that feels perfect because I have a couple tier maker lists that we didn't get to. Yeah, tier maker to add list. Yeah. I have 4 tier maker lists that I didn't get to from the last time I did tier maker. So that'll we do because that I can just talk and hang out on stream and do the tier maker list and then jump from that to the countdown because I'll just keep an eye on the time. Great. I figured it out. Thank you for allowing me to talk through my thought process of what I was going to do. It turns out the thing I was going to do was, turns out, the thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do tier maker lists. All right, so this goes on there. This goes on there. And this is the stand that holds open the the Pokedex. And then also, it's where you keep the cards that you aren't using currently. So, yeah. And then shows you how to remove them, which, yes, I do remember how to do that, and replace them, and that's it. So, we had 1 vote for Squirtle, and we had 1 vote for Bulbasaur, and I am going to... well, it's weird that we had these as extras. Strange. Had a couple extras that are odd to me, but whatever. So I'm going to say that we put in Squirtle. Squirtle Squad. Squirtle goes in here. And then we can take these other ones. And again, these are all lenticular, so they move around. And they're all like the designs there. If you got them as Mega. And we can put them back here. And then we can swap them out if we want. And there's a good place to keep them. And then you just put them, you put it right there. And then you have the Pokedex. You can see, they'll slide out. These don't stay great in there, but yeah, they don't stay tight in this back spot here, which is fine. But yeah, we got a Pokemon in the stand here, and you can see, got that. It closes and lights up. It's nice they have some storage. Yeah, it's not great storage, but it is storage. And then this does hold with it closed. It attempts to, yes, Lashbrook. This does hold closed, but also you'd want to display it open because it looks better open. So we'll take some photos here, and then we'll do a pause for the cause. Let me get my camera ready here. All right, got a little dirt there. All right, so Pokedex, and then we'll do Pokedex open with the light flashing, and then we'll take a photo from a distance. And you know what? I will, so that we can see there. So Pokedex is like clamshell Game Boy with the D-pad face button swapped. Yes, accurate. So we pop this off, which lets us then pop this out. And there are little, spots in there so that it holds, which is nice. And then we can take out and we can do Bulbasaur. We'll just swap it out for photos. And again, yeah, these don't hold too well. It's probably the part I like about this build the least. And the fact that you can swap them very easily is nice. That's a nice bit of business. You can swap them so easily. But we got to have a photo with the stand. So we'll take that as well. You can see that there. And then I'll take a photo of the Pokedex on the stand. All right, and that's the build. Thank you to Aristofan for picking this up off my Amazon wish list. This was 2 of 3 things purchased by Aristofan for me to build, and we will be moving on to the 3rd thing after the pause for the cause. We are going to start the Lego Dreams Zoe Cat motorcycle, which again is the next thing that we will be doing. after the pause for the cause. We'll put this stuff over here so it is out of the way, and so we don't confuse the Mega with the Lego. But then we'll move on to this thing. You can see there's two different directions to go with it. You can do the bike version, or you can do the like flying version, and we'll construct both of them. Which one will you build? The answer to that is both. Why not both? ¿Por qué no dos? So we'll do both. The motorcycle looks cool. I believe this is Zoe, and that is a villain character that I do not know, and that's a bird. I know that. I don't know anything about Lego Dreams other than you can watch the series online. I know that about Lego Dreams. I don't even think you're supposed to say it like dreams, but I think it's fucking funny. Lots of nice bright colors indeed. Also, this Zoe's bike is bisexual, clearly. And we do love a bisexual motorcycle cat. We do love it. It's their drug-enhanced brand, indeed. Bird looks like it's carrying one of those capsules Robotnik would lock animals in. It does look like there's an animal trapped in that capsule. I don't know. Again, I don't know anything about this particular thing or thing, other than we're going to be building it. But what I do know is it's time for the pause for the cause. This is my opportunity to talk to you about ways you can support the channel and what I do here. All the things I'm about to talk to you about are optional. You're under no obligation to do any of these things, but if you'd like to, that would be great and I would love it. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token. You can do that there. You could also be like Aristofan and gift a sub if you wanted to do that. Because you could take advantage of, put in there, bonus round. Until January 2nd, if you gift 5 subs, a 6th sub will be given out. In this case, we got 2 gifted subs, but at minimum, 1 extra will come out. But instead, we went all the way up there to 7. And of course, if you are new to the channel, you like to subscribe, you never subscribed before, you can save some money doing that. 25% off for the first month, or 25% off for 3 months, or if you do 6 months. If you're like, oh, I'm locked in, Pat, I'll see you in the summer for renewing. Well, then you can get 30% off that, which is cool. And I would get a bunch of money up front, which would also be kind of cool. Help me pay my taxes. Hooray. Thank you all for everybody that subscribed, or if you've gifted a sub, especially this month. We have had, 14 plus the 3 that were anonymous. So yeah, we have had 15 gifted subs this month. That's wild. That's so many gifted subs. It's so nice. But yeah, also bits and coins always appreciated. If you want to do that, if you want to throw in some bits and join the cheerleader board, you can do that as well. There are other ways to support me here. Oddly enough, weirdly, we make it easy around here, and there are other ways to support the channel. Like you could go over to my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Over on the Patreon, there are different tiers, and there are different rewards to different tiers. The $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier, I just put out a call for questions for my $1 up through $10 tiers, because I do a monthly Q&A that is exclusive just for my Patreon, and I'm going to be recording that this weekend, so I put a call out for questions. I already have 1 question. I'm waiting on another one. Hopefully it'll come through, because I do like 2 or 3. So yeah, if you want to jump in on that, you could jump in on that. I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube channel, you could subscribe if you wanted to. Subscribing is free over on YouTube, so please do. Check out some videos, which I'll plug later. Also, you can become a member there, and for just $2 a month, you get, weirdly enough, my Wednesday videos on Tuesday, which is pretty cool. So you can see that on Tuesday, and you don't have to wait till Wednesday to see my videos, and I'll have a new theme for next month when I talk about Kuma Baer in a minute. Let's see. Those are all monthly ways to support me. If you would like to support me financially just one time, like just because, you could always, if you wanted to, go to my PayPal or my Ko-Fi and do a direct donation. Everything I make through direct donations, like a tip jar almost, and through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund, and out of the fund, I buy model kits. I just bought a model kit from USA Gundam Store, from Gundam Planet. I bought a kit from Gundam Planet, first time in a long time. I got a kit from Gundam Planet that's going to take a while to get here, but it just looks rad and is cool. I have a backlog of stuff. I'm constantly adding new things to build, Lego kits and model kits and all kinds of stuff. So if your support helps me out and helps me out build stuff in the future. Past you helps out future me, which is great. Now, the kit I just finished up, the Kanto Region Pokedex, and the Lego Dreams motorcycle that I'm about to start, all came from my Amazon wish list. Aristofan bought them, which is very kind of Aristofan. There are other things on the wish list there. If you would like to buy something from my Amazon wish list, you're more than welcome to. It'll come to me in the mail. I'll make a dedicated video for my YouTube about the thing that you purchased. And it's just a way to support the channel if you wanted to. Optional. You can sort that list by price, low to high. See if there's something inexpensive, like a little Lego set or a model kit. All the way to stuff that's very expensive and some gear. It'll come to me in the mail, as I said. I'll make a dedicated video about the thing you purchased, and it'll jump the queue and be the next thing that I build. Right now, I'm starting the thing, and then after that, I'll start going through my backlog, because it's been a hot minute since I built anything from my backlog. My alternative to Amazon is my Throne wish list. If you would like to buy something off my Throne wish list because you don't want to use Amazon, I get it. You can go check that out. And then, of course, if you wanted to, you could do the most convoluted way to support me, which is go to USA Gundam Store and buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. They'll send you an email with the gift card code. Then you can send me a whisper here on Twitch, or you can send me a DM on Twitter, or a private message on Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code, and then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. And they have deals a lot, so maybe I could get a little discount on that. I don't know. But yeah, see if there's something you want to do that. The most convoluted way to support me financially. If you want to support me and not spend any money, I have a Discord, and we would love to have you on the Discord. Feel free to jump in over there. That's a great place. You're welcome to go there. I'm going to drink a little water here just for a second. Hey, here's the thing that's temporary. From now until next Thursday, I will close this poll next Thursday. I've got a poll happening. It's a Google form poll, and you are welcome to vote in it if you haven't already. And it is vote on what expensive kit I should buy. I am not collecting names or email addresses. You have to enter one so that you don't vote more than once, which is fine. If you're confused about this, here's the deal. Your friend Pat. I have an annual tradition here where I take the gift cards that I receive, in this case, a $50 Amazon gift card and a $50 prepaid Visa card. I take that, and I'm going to use it to buy an expensive model kit. Now, I have a list of 3 model kits on that link there. I have the Zaku Warrior live concert version master grade, which is beautiful and a gorgeous kit. I have the Black Knight Squad Calria high grade, which is, I have built 2 other kits from the Black Knight Squad. This is the 3rd one, and this is a gorgeous kit. It's a white with gold accents with a little bit of, like, one piece of teal and a little purple, and it's an absolutely gorgeous kit. It's got 2 katanas, whips ass. And I have the RX-783, the G3 Gundam Master Grade. This is version 2 of the kit. That is a stunning looking kit. It's a very old school kit, but it's very intricate and apparently has a lot of flexibility for posability for photos and stuff. I've heard very good things about that kit. Currently, 21 people have voted. 14 people have voted for the Zaku Warrior live concert version. 5 people have voted for the Black Knight Squad Calria, and 2 people have voted for the 783. earlier in the day, no one had voted for the 7A3. Most people obviously voted for the Zaku Warrior live concert version, which I have talked about. I was asked what the gayest Gundam is, and obviously it's not Gundam, it's a mobile suit. That's the gayest, and that's not pejorative. That is celebrating it. That is a Zaku painted up like it for an Idol concert. It's a pink mobile suit painted up, decorated specifically for that, and it's gonna be fucking great. I built the high grade of the Zaku Warrior, but I've never built the master grade, and this one is obviously special. It is the most expensive of the three, but I'm okay with that. I am fine with that. Taxing when I also with tax will be basically all of the money I have set aside for this. Now, if you're saying, well, Pat, what happens if you buy the $50-something kit? What if that wins? The other money from the gift cards will go towards model kits. Instead of buying one very expensive kit that I would otherwise never buy, I will buy a couple kits, then some of which are not as expensive, or Lego or whatever. So all that $100 is going towards the channel. It's just that I have the opportunity to do something big. And some of those kits have been the favorite builds. There was the dragon, the blue eyes white dragon, that was phenomenal. That's a beautiful kit. The heavy arms. We built one of the heavy arms from Endless Waltz. Like, that was a kit that I've always wanted to build in master grade form. That's absolutely gorgeous. I've been able to build some really cool, weird stuff that, again, very pricey. And I can do that. I'm doing it no matter what, but you can have a say in how that turns out if you want. And again, that'll close next Thursday. That'll be a week. A couple of video links for you to check out before we get back to we start building this Lego set. Pat Baer's Anime Club. I have, again, I'm going to be recording a new episode next Tuesday. The current episode is my top 10 list for 2024. So if you want to know what my favorite anime of the year was, you can watch that. If you want to know what my 10th favorite anime of the year was, you can see that in the video. What my honorable mention is, some of the stuff like isekai stuff that maybe you want to check out, some romantic comedy stuff, some action stuff, some comedy stuff. You can see what ended up being my number 2 and like what ended up in the middle of the pack. And you could be like, I can't believe this anime that I love so much isn't your number 1. And I will say, yeah, I know. Or maybe my number 3 was your number 1. Or my number 4. Or my number 5 even. Maybe my number 1, or maybe your number 1 of the year isn't even on my list. Shocking. Incredible, right? Because I don't know what it would have been, but I didn't love it or something. I just didn't love the thing you loved the most. Because it's possible. Because there's a lot of anime out there, and some of it's just not for me. And that's okay. I am not saying that my list is the definitive list. I'm saying it is my list. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series. Every month I have a different theme. December's theme was 90s anime. And so I talked about my favorite anime from the 90s, and one of them I talked about in this episode, and that's Sailor Moon. And I'm very happy for in a minute to tell you how fucking rad Sailor Moon is. And so you should watch that, because I think it's a fun episode. So check that out. That's all my yapping on that. I do have some other stuff to talk about, and once we get into this second hour here fully. I have a manga that I'm going to recommend, and then an anime that I'm wrapping up that I don't recommend, but I watched every episode, so we're going to talk about episode 13, even if, hey, spoiler alert, it's not one of my favorites from this season. I'll be thinking about it a little bit, but I'm not happy about it. So yeah, before I do all that, I have to drink some water, and we have to dramatically change over to the overhead camera, and we will do that thing right now. All right. So, the thing we're going to be doing now is knolling. That is the time-honored tradition where I am going to be separating these by color. Let's see. Oh, we have some decals, but not too many, which is fine. What just happened here? Nathan Explosion just subscribed for 29 months with Prime. Thank you so much, Nathan. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Thank Nathan very much for the continued support. Appreciate you, Nathan. I'm going to talk about some manga here, and then I'm going to put it in there. So yeah, as I begin to null, I will also throw some emotes in the chat. Let's see. Do they want me to do bag one? Just open bag one. Let's see. What's your first step here? Yeah. All right. We're gonna open one bag at a time. We will do their rules, and just do it one bag at a time as we build this thing. That's fine. That's fair. So we'll do the one. It's 200 something pieces, so I probably don't want to do all of it all at once. So we'll just open up the instruction booklet. And then I'm going to talk to you about a manga that I've been reading called The Reincarnated Elf Left on a Journey to Master His Magic and with his extra lifespan became a living legend. Is it based on a light novel? Of fucking course it is. Is it a fun manga that I have been perusing? Yeah, this is a fun one. I think that it would be something that you might be into. All right, nothing in this bag. You always got to triple check here. Or some people will just leave the bags nearby. But yeah, we want to triple check here. We're going to start by building Zoe, but before we build Zoe, we can do some knolling and get our pieces together here. But we'll also put. Ooh, she got herself a compound crossbow here, or a automatic bow, compound bow. That piece we need. We also need. Well, we'll find all the pieces we need. Her body there. I need to find her legs, and then also there's one black piece here that is important as well. Oh, blue, dark blue, not black. This is a dark blue piece. Nope, that's the wrong piece. We'll figure it out. Okay, these are black here. So I gotta null by color, folks. I'm just nulling by color, finding all the pieces that I need, putting them together by color, and that'll just make it easier when the time comes to build. So we're just separating by color here. I do need to find one black piece here that goes in the back. Anyway, so this particular manga, here it is, I found it. This particular manga that I am talking about here is, again, called The Reincarnated Elf Left on a Journey to Master His Magic and with his extra lifespan became a living legend. So, our dude had a rough life on Earth. Then he died and was reincarnated in a fantasy world. And he became an elf. And at first, that was pretty fucking dope. Just like doing elf stuff. He's got a family that he spent all his life with. They're good people. He's enjoying his time on in this fantasy world. He's learning magic. He's just kind of being lazy and hanging out. But elves have a very long lifespan, and so he gets kind of fucking bored with that pretty quickly, where he's just like, I kind of want to explore the world and see what's up. And because the main reason, one of his driving forces is he died because of an accident. He didn't really get to experience a lot in his previous life, and so he's just like, I kind of want to do cool shit and like experience the world. And most people who are elves stay in the village their whole lives, and they don't do anything or see anyone. And he's like, I don't want that to be me. So he like pleads his case, and basically he gets told, all right, well, the village elder will have a test for you. And so in a couple of years, you got to do this. And of course, he wants to take the test now, but he has to grow in strength. So he studies a lot. He occasionally, early in his life, or towards the end of it, he kind of escapes the border accidentally. But he doesn't want to just keep going. He wants to like do it the proper way. So he talks to a few people, and he saves a guy's life. He saves a young girl's life. Years apart, but for him it's kind of like a blink of the eye, but for them it's years apart that he saves a couple people, and the humans that he meets, one of whom is his first friend in this world, because he has like elf people that like him, but they're not friends. His first real friend in this world is this human guy who's like, oh yeah, all right, well, we'll come back every few years and we'll be ready for you. Because he tells people, he's like, I'm going to be leaving at this time, and I'm going to need some help when I get out of here. He concludes the test. His magic ability is unparalleled because he has drive, which other elves don't have. So he's learned all this cool magic. He can do all this cool shit. He's really overpowered, of course. And then eventually, this is like the first several chapters is him like finding his way and figuring things out. And then eventually he leaves. He goes on his journey, and immediately he meets the young girl that he saved when she was a slave, comes back and wants to be, considers him her master, and wants to help her out. She's for survival and also to set up stuff. She is a skilled tracker and warrior in order to stand next to him, which is cool. It's cool shit. So that happens. And then also turns out that the guy that he helped out a long time ago, his first friend, is this well-to-do and well-known local lord. And he's been like the defensive lord. He saved everybody from invasions for years and years. But he's sick. And we find out why he's sick is because he got possessed by a demon who is whittling away his lifespan. And our guy, manages our elf friend here, Minoru, manages to extend his lifespan for a few years, and gives him a few years to hang out with his son and with his grandchild and live a bit more of his life. And in that time, we don't really see much about it. We find out that the young woman that has been staying with our guy learns cooking and all of that. And there's some good times and those some adventures. And in the background, we know that the demons that are around that have come back here are here for a very specific reason. The Demon King is going to return. Which also means that the hero will be born. Someone with a hero factor will be born to defeat the Demon Lord. And the demons are trying to figure out who that is so they can kill him when he's a fucking kid. Which is smart. These demons are smarter than other demons, really. Because that shit generally doesn't happen. So we do have this... we put it on this side here. We do have our bolt launcher. But the bolt launcher is just a flick. It's not action trigger. Just flicking them. So I'll leave those off because I don't want to lose them. But we got Zoe. Zoe's done. Zoe is ready to do some stuff. Now Zoe needs a cool big cat. Zoe needs a cat motorcycle. So we got to give Zoe her cat motorcycle. And we'll do that now. We'll start building that for Zoe. So this manga is fun. At the tail end where I left off, we have been introduced to the brave, who says he has no magic ability, but he has a good heart and a good head on his shoulders, and he's saved. He is. Oh, also I should say that the hero, moments before the elf, our elf main character, finds him, was just kicked out of a party. He's literally been banished for being useless, but now he's going to save the world. And I was like, oh, it's also one of these stories. That's fun for me, and maybe me specifically, but it's also fun. So we also have a kicked element to it, even though our main character wasn't banished, a minor supporting character was. And also, our elf could probably fucking do it. He's got all this magic and he's super strong. He probably could defeat the Demon Lord, but he's not willing to take the risk. So he's like, well, might as well train the hero to be able to do it, and I'll be there in case we need to. And it's fun. It's a fun manga. That's the reincarnated elf left on a journey to master his magic, and his extra lifespan became a living legend. And it's pretty fun. Now, not as fun. Episode 13, the final episode of the first season, and I don't know if there will be a second season, but who knows? Maybe there will be. Of I'll Become a Villainess Who Goes Down in History. This is an otome game style isekai where our main character wakes up in a fantasy world that she somewhat knows the events of, but understands that she is a villainess in that, and she is psyched about it because she has always loved the idea of a villainess, a strong female villainess. Now, probably our main character, Alicia, doesn't actually properly understand what a villainess is, because she is the most righteous character in this fucking story. More likely than not, she is just talking about a strong female lead. That's all that she actually wants to be, is just a cool lady with morals and principles. So she probably actually doesn't want to be a villainess. Anyway, at the end of episode 12, we had, in my opinion, the happy ending. That's not the ending, where due to Liz, who is the saintess who has unfeathered access to her emotions, which she can unconsciously use to manipulate people, a big outburst from her, seemingly, it seems like that's what happened, has turned... has made so Duke, who is the prince, again, the prince is named Duke, I hate it, amnesia. He seems to have amnesia. Like, selective amnesia. He doesn't remember Alicia, who he has been enamored with since she was a child, because he fucking sucks. He is the love interest of this show. There is no point where he is not the love interest of the show, and it sucks because he sucks. And it's not like the Yakuza Fiancé anime, where both characters are fucking broken in different ways and made for each other. Alicia is not made for him. He just fucking sucks ass, and I hate him. And I hate that he's been the love interest this whole damn time. Anyway, Duke does not remember who she is and questions Gil, which is weird because he remembers who Gil is, but Gil is the commoner who is Alicia's assistant. So it's like selective memory. Alicia is summoned to the castle for a trial, which is obviously a sham because the king, everyone knows she had nothing to do with this, but it is a serious crime to tamper with the memories of the crown prince, so somebody's got to be held accountable for it. And then Alicia wants to be found guilty. She would love to get exiled because she knows that if she doesn't, she's going to end up the crown princess or the queen. She knows she's going to get wrapped up in stuff, and that's not the freedom she wants as a villainess. Also, as a villainess, wouldn't she want to be banished? So she's just like, yeah, I'll get out of here. I'll get banished. I'll be able to explore the world. They'll banish me and they won't kill me. And also they couldn't kill her. Mel, who is the assistant, who is also obsessed with her, still does her duty and says, yeah, this kind of amnesia could only happen because of someone with high-ranking dark magic could only do this. You couldn't do this without that, which seems reasonable, but is probably a lie. Alicia does not properly defend herself. That's a lot of this episode is her just like, quote-unquote, fucking up and quote-unquote trapping herself, but it's clear to her that she absolutely wants to do it. Everyone finds out she's been exiled, and a lot of people are still supporting Alicia and are fucking furious about it. Liz is like, you knew that was a trap. Why did you walk right into it? Why did you allow yourself to be convicted in this sham of a trial? Well, that's the whole part of the plan. Because, hey, guess what? Guess what? The Prince Duke, he did not have memory loss. He faked it. This was all his plan because he knew that Alicia didn't want to be tied down, and this was his way of helping her. Because you may remember from the previous episode, he talked about how he wanted to lock her in a cage, metaphorically, but she wouldn't sing in a cage, and also she definitely wouldn't allow it. He just wanted to protect her because he loves her, but he understands that to make her happy, she has to just do whatever the fuck she wants. She's getting ready to leave. She leaves Gil a letter to give to Duke, telling him that, like, hey, just so you know, I'm leaving no matter what, but also, if I had stayed, we wouldn't have ended up in a relationship because I don't want that, which is definitive and should be the end of it. It isn't. What was here? Duke destroys the barrier that separates the entrapped area, Riona, which I thought would be more important to this story, but actually kind of wasn't. But anyway, that is finally done. And now the king and the king's brother can be reunited. They have a tearful reunion. That's actually the sweetest thing that happens in the show and kind of rules. And now the full country is reunited. That was Alicia's plan all along, so she's happy about that. Alicia is leaving the country, and then Duke breaks into her carriage to kiss her forcibly. And they make plans to meet up one day. And Alicia realizes, oh, actually, turns out I am in love with him, which feels completely forced and out of nowhere. And again, does not feel correct. It does not feel right. It feels unbelievably forced, and is a fucking bummer, and is my biggest gripe with this show. And then we find out from Alicia's mother that Rose, early on, there was a whole episode called The Black Rose that seemingly didn't mean anything, but apparently did mean something. That a black rose bloomed when she was 7. And that black rose... Wait. I'm missing one of these. I found it. Don't worry, I found it. That black rose signified that she would bring great change to the country, which she did. And that's the end. She goes to another country so she can continue having adventures. And that's... Oh, this is hard to see here. Sorry. Does that go... That must go here? No. Where does this go? Where does this piece go? Oh, it goes over here. Okay. I couldn't see where it went. This is like dark blue on dark blue, and it's occasionally a little hard for me to see where these pieces should go here in my current lighting setup. You might have picked up on my the way I was talking that I did not like the ending of this anime, and you are fucking correct. The major problem with this anime is that at no point is anything that the character Duke does romantic. It is always creepy. It is always inappropriate. It is always bad. Alicia falling for him makes no fucking sense from how she reacts to him ever. Now, you could argue that she is so obsessed with being a villainess that she appreciates his behavior towards her, which sucks if that's true. If that interpretation, I think, is bothersome because she isn't enamored with villains. Her idea of what a true villainess is just weird. So it doesn't make any sense that she would be into someone treating her poorly, because she doesn't treat anyone poorly. Anyway, this is a really fun premise that is ruined by the writing. It's animated fine. It looks fine. I would not recommend it. It will not be one of the anime I recommend next month for when I talk about my favorites from the fall. I do have a list of that. My Kuma Baer list is there are 5 Wednesdays in April, in January, and so I will talk about them. Because I have 5 of them. Yeah. But yeah, I will not be talking about that because I did not love it. So I will find other things to talk about that are not. I'll become a villainess. They'll go down in history. You can probably guess what 2 of them are. I'll talk about Dan to Dan. I'll talk about Ranma 1/2. I might talk about Dragon Ball Daima. I don't know yet. I might talk about Dragon Ball because I'm liking Dragon Ball Daima, but I'm not loving Dragon Ball Daima. We'll have an episode this Saturday. I don't know if it's seasonal or not. Actually, let me look that up, folks. While I'm working on this kit, I'm going to look up to see if they have listed the new fall 2024 Dragon Ball Daima. There are 12 episodes. Episode 12 is airing, but have they listed? Have they said if it's an ongoing? Have not said. At least any chart or any list doesn't know. Do not know. Okay. Do not know if it's just going, if it's going to end, they're going to take a break, what's going on with it. Hopefully I'll have more information about that soon. I also need to get caught up on Bleach 1,000 Year War, Blood War the Conflict. I got to get caught up on that. And maybe I'll watch the last episode of Demon Lord 2099. I haven't talked about that at all. That show has been fine. Demon Lord 2099 looks great because of the cyberpunk. It is an overpowered main character that never has to worry about anything. And they do tack on some school stuff, which feels very out of left field. It feels like the Misfit Demon Lord at Demon Lord School or whatever that one is. It does feel a bit like that anime, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not like a great thing, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I'm like, yeah, that's good, but it's not like good. But it's totally watchable. That and Goodbye Dragon Life are very watchable. Goodbye Dragon Life at least has humor and is fun, and has a Lamia, which is not a mythological creature you see in fantasy anime that often. A snake girl. You don't see a snake girl that often. And that's fun. I like that. Because it's at least a little unique. Ooh, the tail. This thing's got a tail. Okay. Now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you. That's right, you, the viewer, doing that viewing right now. I want to know what you're watching right now. What are you playing? Have you been to the movies? Are you reading any good books lately? Listening to any music you really like? You catching up on any anime? Did you do anything for Christmas that you want to tell me about? Of course, you'd be sharing with not only me, but everybody else. If you want to share, you could share, and that would be fun because we love to hear from you about what you're up to and into. As for me, my games of the moment right now are mostly Hearthstone and Marvel Rivals. Helldivers have not touched in a while because my multiplayer crew is so fucking into Marvel Rivals. I am trying to main Jeff the Landshark, because Jeff is very fun and cute and also can be annoying to play against, and that's kind of my style. I have a friend who mains Rocket Raccoon, and so I've been playing a lot of Punisher to their Rocket Raccoon because they have synergy that's very fun. So I've been doing a lot of that, but I was getting tired of treating Marvel Rivals like a shooter, which is what you're doing with, if you are maining if that's the direction you're going, then you're just shooting and dumping. You're just straight dumping. So I've been playing around with Jeff as like my alt main because it's fun. I like Marvel Rivals a lot. I love playing with friends in that way, and it has been a good time chilling with my multiplayer crew, hanging out with some Marvel Rivals. And it is silly, and there's a lot of good times. Yes, Lord Crash, and sometimes you got to dump, but also your typo there. Sometimes you do have to dumb as well, and I have had fun dumbing in that game also. But yeah, Jeff is fun and not. I found Jeff less challenging than Doctor Strange, but still a lot of good silliness involved in that. Oops, I put this on wrong. It's gotta go like this. Anything else I can tell you about my gaming? Oh yeah, I mean just Hearthstone, just playing Hearthstone. Got no new decks since the last time I talked about it. Last night. For folks that were here, thank you very much for everyone that hung out last night. Thank you for hanging out because I don't normally stream on Wednesdays. My bonus streams used to be on Wednesday, and then I switched to Tuesday. But yeah, I did it last night, and I played the very fun Good Times of Diorama Builder, and specifically the Christmas stage, the Xmas stage for Diorama Builder, which was really fun. My problems with that game persist. I still have issues with that game. They have not fixed the issues that I have with it, unfortunately. Why did it... This bag one gave me these pieces, and we didn't use any of them, which is weird. Isn't that weird? So I'm now looking back to make sure I didn't miss it. But this is in bag one, and we didn't use any of them. So I'm going to go through here. We have an extra diamond here, but we don't have it. I didn't use these at all, so I'm going to go through and make sure that I didn't mess up somewhere, and these are supposed to be in there. Because it's weird to give me 3, and I didn't use any of them. So, yeah, it was just like, I just played that game, and I just wish there was a tutorial. And I wish they would kind of revamp the controls because they are occasionally incredibly non-intuitive. And so I would love some better controls in Diorama Builder. Lysandra says, still chugging through Metaphor? Hell yeah. Enjoy Metaphor Refantasio. I hope you're having a great time with it. Lastberg says, I went and saw Robert Eggers' Nosferatu last night, and it's very good, but also didn't really do much for me. Also, I spent the day watching the DBZ Kai version of Goku versus Frieza, which is still just an amazing fight. So many iconic moments. Hell yeah. Dragon Ball Daima is totally a great, not Daima, Dragon Ball Kai. Dragon Ball Z Kai, totally a reasonable way to watch that anime. Okay, I did miss it. I did miss a step, folks. I'm glad I looked at this. Handlebars. These are handlebars. The handlebars from the motorcycle go right here. I totally skipped that. I'm glad I went back because I was like, this doesn't make sense. It's one thing to have extras, which this is an extra. That totally makes sense. Totally understand why there's an extra. But it didn't make sense to have an extra, 3 extras. So, okay. So we've now finished bag 1 because we got a cat head on here. Yeah, I've heard good things about Nosferatu. I know some people really loved it. I know some people were like, okay, yeah, all right, which I think is also totally reasonable. Lord Crashton says, some MP games, multiplayer games, are fun to troll people in, like Metal Gear Online back in the day when it was kind of broken. Yeah, so that's the thing, right? I'm not the first person to say this, but I stand by it. This belief that Marvel Rivals is broken, but it's broken in so many different, but it's broken in fun ways. And by broken, I mean multiple characters are totally busted and overpowered, but they're complementary and contradictory messed up. So it's like, oh, this character's too strong, but it's okay because it's also weak in this way, and this character is strong, and it doesn't mesh together. So like, people who are playing will learn how to will learn how to cheese it, but also how to counter the cheese. And so it all balances out, which is phenomenal, and I love that. Lord Crasher says, I got a holiday game based on a classic property in Ebenezer and the Invisible World, which takes place after the original story, where Scrooge could talk to spirits after his ordeal as he fights to save the poor from the head of a rich family that's built their fortune on exploring the working class. He helps some of the spirits, and they give him new abilities. That sounds neat and weird and cool. That's a fun idea. Yeah, all right, sure. All right, we got Silver Streak just resubbed saying, good evening. That's 35 months. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in chat. Thanks, Silver Streak. Good evening. Marvel Rivals has grabbed my attention way more than OV ever did. I feel like the broken state of kind of reminds me of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which ended up broken but balanced at the same time too. Yes, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is a great example of a game where there were some characters that were just completely busted, and you just had to learn how to fight them, and then enough people would fight them that you couldn't really play those characters anymore, and it got balanced just by the community balanced itself. So I still think, they should do stuff to make the game fun to play and all that, but it's totally okay to just be kind of a mess at launch in a fun way, not in a, oh, fuck you, I don't want to play this anymore way. And I think it's just fun busted. More busted than broken, It's a really good time. Anyway, this is bag 1. We have bag 2 and 3. I don't... so I'm going to probably finish this up on Monday or Saturday, which means that tomorrow, my $10 patrons, one last poll for my $10 patrons will happen tomorrow. And you'll be able to vote on what I do, what I build after this, because it's finally time to go back to the backlog. So I'll put a poll up tomorrow for my $10 patrons about what I should do, because I assume I'm going to finish this on Saturday, because it's just a 200-piece kit. There are some decals. I might not start the new thing on Saturday, but I'll definitely be starting on Monday, so I need to decide. Lord Crashton talks more about the video game that they're checking out. The bad guy also got visits from 3 spirits, but isn't really changed. The future ghost shows him his old self dying after realizing the family's ultimate creation. So a 4th spirit shows up to show him how to make that and fuck everything up. Oh, so like a rogue 4th spirit is just like, hey, what if you keep doing this shit and we go even harder? That's fucked up. All right. Thank you for sharing, Lord Crashen. That does sound fun. I hope you're having a good time with it. We're going to wrap things up there. Let me take a photo here, because I'm not going to start knolling bag 2 and 3. I'll save that. I will knoll bags 2 and 3 at the same time, on 4 Saturday streams, so that I'll be ready so I can just get into the building. But let me take a photo here of what we got. We got Zoe and the beginnings of the cat bike. Okay, and then we will conclude this kit on Saturday. We'll finish it up on Saturday and then start something new. What's the new thing? Again, I don't know, because I have to do a poll, and I'll have some Lego, and also, you know what? No, I won't have any Lego, because we're doing a Lego now. We did a Lego on Monday. We did. In between that, or on opposite sides of that, we did the Mega Constructs, because we did the Pokedex here. So I want to do a model kit next. So I'm going to put 3 model kits up for voting for my patrons, my $10 patrons. But remember, friends, as we get ready to wrap this stream up, you can vote on what expensive model kit that I buy to build in the future. Follow that link there, and you can check out the form. You can vote on one of the kits you'd like to see me build, be it the Black Knight Squad Calria, the RX-783 G3 Gundam version 2, or the Zaku Warrior Live Concert version. And I will, I'll check that out. Let me just check out my forms here. Let me see what is, let me see how that's doing. Let me go to my drive here, and then I need to see the back end of this, of the, for me, called an untitled form. Okay. 21 responses, currently at 66% Zaku Warrior live concert version. A few more people have also voted, or no, the same amount have voted for the RX-78 G3, which is L2. We have 5 for the Black Knight Squad and 14 there. Yeah, 21 people have responded to it, and that is that's looking good. Congratulations, everybody, on that. Thank you for voting. We have a week to do it. But that is going to do it for tonight's stream. We are going to raid, though. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go find someone doing cool stuff and go spend some time with them. This will be the last of our Christmas decorations. I will be back in the bandana on Saturday, and I won't have the Christmas lights anymore, and we'll go back to where we were vis-a-vis hanging out, and it will not be Christmas anymore around here as we prep for the new year. Let's see, who should we raid? We're going to raid Arthur Geese. Arthur is currently playing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I know a game that Arthur really enjoys, so we'll go check that out and see what's going on there. With Mr. Geese. So feel free to come along on this raid. We got raided tonight, which was very kind, so we need to share the love and continue the raiding. Thanks so much for being here. I will see you on Saturday for Lego and model kit building. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you have a great rest of your week and a great weekend. And I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.